I don't want to interfere. Can't we just leave or something? I have to stay here. It's my job as a pack doctor to help those who are wounded. I can hear the double meaning behind his words, and I can feel my eyes well up with tears. I never meant to hurt you all this time. I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to break apart your family. You had the perfect family, and I didn't want to ruin that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that to you. I understand why you did what you did, but you're not the only one hurting. Do you know how I felt every time I had to hear about some guy that you had sex with? My tears start pouring out of my eyes faster and faster. It doesn't take long before I stop sobbing. Well, what's going on here? Zach's POV. What do you mean the shipment isn't ready? I ordered this stuff yesterday. Why isn't it here yet? I glare at the hooded face in front of me. The guy shakes slightly in fear before clearing his throat. I'm sorry, Alpha. There's been a delay in the production because of the growth that we have in our business right now. What growth? The business is finally taking off, and we've gained a lot of orders. We can no longer have your order within the same day because we don't have enough time. I'm not paying you to work on other people's projects. I want you working on mine. I'm sorry, Alpha, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can smell the fear coming off him in waves, and it's making me sick. Such a weakling. Get out of my sight. The next time I hear from you, it better be good news. I growl at him before turning around and walking away. I can't believe that there's been a delay. I need that stuff now. Patrick is not going to be happy when he hears that I don't have the materials. He's counting on me to send him supplies so he can set another bomb off in the Blood Falls pack next week. Hopefully, this bomb attack will be more successful than the last one. I know that Ryder is going to keep Elizabeth at his side for everything from now on. Hopefully, Patrick will find a time when they are separated and then he can make his move. Patrick is very smart and pretty powerful. With him on my team, I know that I will be able to take down Ryder and his pack. He's been telling me of the plans and preparations Ryder and Elizabeth are making for this war. I can't believe they think that they can outsmart me. I know that Jake is in that pack too, and I know that he's found his mate. I will make sure to kill her right in front of him to show him that no one crosses me and gets away with it. Ryder and Elizabeth think that Jake is their way of knowing what's going on in my pack, but they are dead wrong. I've told Jake's parents about him being in the Blood Falls pack, so he can stay near Elizabeth, and now they want nothing to do with him. They've hated Elizabeth ever since she was a little girl, and the fact that Jake chose her over them has made them just a little mad. They've been telling him false information to keep the Blood Falls pack completely unaware of my actual plans. It also helps that I have Patrick within that pack too. I'm not exactly sure how he was able to get in, but he has, and he now serves as my eyes and ears. Well, technically, we're partners and we're taking down Ryder and his pack together. I'm not sure why Patrick was so willing to help me, but I'm not going to question it. I'm going to need all the help I can get, and Patrick was the only one willing to help me. I should probably call him and let him know that things have been delayed. He's not going to be happy, but that's not my problem. I pick up the phone in my study and start dialing his phone number. Hello? His gruff voice answers. Hey, Pat, I say with a slight smirk. I hear his growl, and my smirk widens. He hates being called Pat. I told you that I hate that name. Don't call me that, he says through clenched teeth. Wow, I guess you're not in a good mood. Maybe I should call you later. I can just imagine his facial expression right now. His jaw is probably locked, his eyes are turning black, and the vein on his forehead probably looks like it's about to burst. I love pushing his buttons. Stop wasting my time and tell me what's going on. All right, time to be serious so he doesn't actually get pissed off. I still need him so I can destroy Ryder and take my mate back. There has been a delay in the shipment of your supplies. What do you mean there's been a delay? There's been a delay. That was a really dumb question. The business that I ordered the supplies from is growing, and they've gained a lot of new customers. Since so many people are ordering things from them, they are super busy. You're going to have to wait to get the stuff. I need those supplies now. I know. Calm down, you'll get your supplies soon. He's such a drama queen. That's not good enough. Yeah, well, that sucks. In the meantime, make sure you stay under the radar. We don't need Ryder to get suspicious and find out that not only are you alive, but that you're the one that's trying to kill his mate, or the fact that you're the one who has been sending her all those threatening messages. Can you shut up? I know what I'm doing. There's no reason for you to try to baby me, he growls. Geez, I was just trying to be helpful. What's his problem? I don't need your help. My left eyebrow arches and I feel a small smirk form on my lips. Oh, really? Yes, really, he snaps at me. Well, okay, if that's the case, then I guess you'll just have to figure out how to get the supplies and money you need to take down Ryder's pack. Don't test me, pup. My smirk disappears and my earlier amusement is replaced with anger. I'm not a pup. Don't you ever disrespect me like that again. Know your place, I growl with my alpha voice. I hear him sigh, and then he mumbles a quick apology. I'm sorry, Alpha. I'll talk to you later. I need to go, he says before he hangs up. I can't believe the nerve of that guy. He's old and weak, but he still thinks he can challenge me. The only reason why I'm helping him is because he is my way into Ryder's pack. I need something to distract me before I go on a killing spree. I storm out of my study and head towards Chelsea's room. Time to get rid of the stress from today. Chelsea's POV. I turn to face the person who was just talking and sigh in relief. I thought it was going to be Zach, but thankfully it's only his dad. Nothing, Alpha, there's nothing going on, I say with a fake smile. Why were you crying? I just watched a really sad movie and it made me cry. I know it was a lame lie, but thankfully Alpha Daniels falls for it. Hello, John. I didn't see you at first. What are you doing here? I think I left something here earlier today. I was just looking for it. John answers with a nervous smile. Do you need any help looking for it? Alpha Daniels asks with a yawn. No, I'm good. Thank you, though. Oh, well, you guys should get to bed soon. It's getting late. Of course, Alpha, John and I say in unison. I wait until he's gone before I look back at John. I should probably start heading up to my room. John glares at me and shakes his head. You're not going back to your room. You're staying in my house from now on. You know I can't do that, John. Zach will be pissed and he'll probably try to take it out on you. He's probably waiting for You will not be with any other man but me from now on. John growls before picking me up and throwing me over his shoulder. Where are we going? I hiss at him as quietly as I can. Hopefully no one sees this because I know word will get to Zach and he will not be happy. I told you, you're sleeping in my house and room from now on. I want to argue with him, but I know it won't do any good. His mind is already made up. Once we get to his house, he turns on some lights and starts heading up the stairs. I start to feel more and more nervous. I'm not sure what John is expecting from me or how I should act around him. It doesn't take long before I feel myself being lowered onto a soft bed. After putting me down, John heads over to one of his drawers and pulls out a pair of gray shorts and a white t-shirt. He walks back over and hands me the clothes. Here are some clothes to change into. I'm pretty sure they'll be more comfortable than the clothes you have on now. The bathroom is over there. I take the clothes from him and give him a grateful smile. Thank you, John. He just shrugs. That's what mates do for each other. I suck in a deep breath and nod my head. I quickly get up and head over to the bathroom. I close the bathroom door after me, and I start taking my clothes off. My clothes are so dirty from cleaning the pack house and taking out the trash. I don't know how Elizabeth did this every day, but I have a newfound respect for her. I never knew how much work it would be to have to clean the entire house, especially by yourself. I look down at my skin and see all the dirt and grim on it. I really need a shower. I step inside the shower and turn on the hot water. The water helps soothe my aching muscles, and I relax a little bit. I use some of John's body wash since I don't have anything else to use. It feels nice to get all of this stuff off of me. I grab some of John's shampoo and massage it into my hair and then rinse it out. Once I'm done with that, I stand under the water for a little longer. After that, I turn off the water and step out of the shower. I grab the towel that's hanging on the towel rack and wrap it around my body. It smells just like my mate. After I dry off, I put on the clothes that he gave me. They smell just like him too, and they feel so warm and comfortable. I open up the first drawer I see, and I'm glad that there's a brush that I can use. I brush through my hair before putting the brush back. I head out of the room with my clothes from today in my hand. John's eyes snap open, and a growl of approval comes out from his throat. I love how my clothes look on you. You look absolutely beautiful. For the first time in my life, I blushed. I've never blushed when any other guy complimented me because they never meant anything to me, but hearing John say it makes my heart skip a beat. Thank you, I mumble while looking at my feet. I feel a warm hand grasp my chin and lift it up until I'm looking into John's eyes. Don't hide your blush from me, all right? I nod my head and he picks me up and carries me back to the bed. He pulls back the covers and slips in before moving over so there's room for me. I hesitantly crawl onto the bed and snuggle into his chest. It only takes a few minutes before I feel my eyes start to close. I feel a light kiss on my forehead and I sigh in content. Before I lose conscience, I hear John whisper something in my ear. We'll get through this together, okay? I'll always be here for you. I nod my head slightly and feel myself relax. I'm not alone anymore. Elizabeth's POV. I haven't been allowed to go anywhere without Ryder or someone Ryder trusts to protect me. I understand that he wants to protect me, so I haven't really said anything. Most of the house was damaged, but that's not really a big deal. We can always replace a house, but we could never replace a person. Ryder and I have been staying with Brian and Emily while the house is being inspected. The pack has basically gone into lockdown since we now know that P is in fact somewhere in this pack. Ryder is questioning everyone in this pack, and he's been very careful about who can be around me. I can't even play with the little kids anymore. I don't think that P is a pack member, because all the pack members are very devoted to Ryder and this pack. I think it might be a rogue or vampire. I don't want to think that my parents had anything to do with this, but I'm not sure. I don't know who I can and can't trust. Are you all right, Luna? I snap out of my daydream and see that it's Brian. I give him a small smile, but he obviously sees right through it. It's that bad, huh? I'm just really worried about everything. Everything will be all right. Everyone in this pack is here for you. We're all looking for whoever is trying to kill our Luna. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate the support all of you guys have given to me. It's a pleasure, Luna. Anything we can do to ensure your safety. I know. That's one of the reasons why I'm so worried. I don't want anyone getting hurt because of me. It's an honor to protect our Luna. Don't worry so much about us. How can I not worry about them? Has there been any more news? I look at Brian with hopeful eyes. He just sighs and shakes his head. I'm sorry, Luna. We haven't been able to find anything. I'm about to say something when I'm interrupted by the sound of footsteps running up the stairs. I look at Brian with a frown, and he immediately stands up and stands between me and the door. His body is tense, and I know that he's prepared to fight anyone who tries to hurt me. The door flings open, and I see a frantic Emily trying to catch her breath. Both of you need to come with me. It's very important. Brian and I follow her down the stairs and out of the house. Emily starts leading us through part of the forest, and I become even more puzzled. We need to be very quiet, all right? Where are we going? I ask quietly. I think I might have heard something. We continue to follow her until she tells us to stop. She then motions towards her ears, telling us to listen. I focus on the different sounds around me, and then I hear a voice. The person, a male, is talking on the phone. Thanks to my werewolf hearing, I can hear what both of them are saying. Hello? His gruff voice answers. Hey, Pat. Once I hear that voice, I can feel my stomach turn. The traitor in this pack is working with Zach. Oh, no. I quickly mind-link Ryder and tell him to come find me, but to be quiet about it. I told you that I hate that name. Don't call me that, the man says through clenched teeth. I can't see him since we're hiding behind a lot of bushes and trees, but I can hear the anger in his voice. Wow, I guess you're not in a good mood. Maybe I should call you later. Stop wasting my time and tell me what's going on. There has been a delay in the shipment of your supplies. What do you mean there's been a delay? The business that I ordered the supplies from is growing, and they've gained a lot of new customers. Since so many people are ordering things from them, they are super busy. I need those supplies now. I know. Calm down, you'll get your supplies soon. That's not good enough. Ryder finally arrives next to me and looks around. I motion for him to listen to the conversation, and he nods his head. Yeah, well, that sucks. In the meantime, stay under radar. We don't need Ryder to get suspicious and find out that not only are you alive, but that you're the one that's trying to kill his mate, or the fact that you're the one who has been sending her all those threatening messages. Can you shut up? I know what I'm doing. There's no reason for you to try to baby me, he growls. Geez, I was just trying to be helpful. I don't need your help. Oh, really? Yes, really. Well, okay, if that's the case, then I guess you'll just have to figure out how to get the supplies and money you need to take down Ryder's pack. I can hear the smugness in Zach's voice, and it makes me want to rip his head off. Ryder's eyes are starting to turn black, and he's starting to shake. I quickly grab his hand and squeeze it gently. Don't test me, pup. I'm not a pup. Don't you ever disrespect me like that again. Know your place, Zach growls through the phone. I'm sorry, Alpha. I'll talk to you later. I need to go. No, he can't get away. I need to see the person behind all this chaos. I let go of Ryder's hand, which causes him to growl. I carefully move around the bushes and trees and look for the mystery man with Ryder, Brian, and Emily behind me. When I see him, I feel my jaw drop and my eyes widen. Holy crap, Elizabeth's POV. I rub my eyes gently and look back at the figure in front of me. There's no way this is possible. I must be dreaming or something. In front of me is basically an older version of Ryder. There are some differences between the two of them, but not a lot. The similarities between the two of them are actually pretty scary. Is it his dad? It can't be, though, since Ryder said his dad killed himself after his alpha challenge. I look at Ryder, and he looks like he's seen a ghost. I have the feeling that he knows exactly who this guy is, and I'm pretty sure that's not a good thing. This guy, Patrick, is the one that's trying to kill me. He's the one that's been sending the letters to me with threats in them, and he's the one that set off the bomb earlier this week. Ryder, are you okay? I ask through the mind link. He seems stuck in a trance, and it looks like he won't be getting out of it anytime soon. I look back over at the mystery man and see that he's getting ready to leave. He keeps looking over his shoulders and around the area, probably trying to make sure that no one has caught him. I study him for a few moments, wondering if I've seen him before at all in my life. I know that I've never seen him in the pack before, but I guess he's just stayed hidden this entire time. I turn back to Emily and Brian, and I see the shock on their faces too. I know they have the same thoughts as me, and are just as confused as I am. We need to get out of here, I tell them. They both look over to me before nodding their head in agreement. How are we going to get Alpha out of here? He seems to have gone into a state of shock, Brian asks me. I purse my lips slightly and try to mind link Ryder again. Ryder? I nudge his shoulder and then I flick him. He still doesn't respond, so I do the only thing I can think of. I smack him across the face. I didn't smack him too hard because that would alert the mystery man, or should I say Patrick, to our presence. Thankfully, Ryder's eyes lose some of that hazy look that he had in them before. We need to go back. He nods his head before walking off. I look over to Brian and Emily, but they just shrug before following him. We pass all the houses and head into another part of the forest. Ryder keeps walking until he gets to one specific tree. He walks up to the tree and puts his hand on the side. I look at him weirdly, wondering what he's doing. A few moments later, the trunk of the tree opens up, and Brian and Emily step inside and walk down a flight of stairs. What the heck? Last time I checked, tree trunks didn't open up into doors, and they definitely have never had stairs in them before. I frown slightly before following them. Once we get to the bottom, Emily flips a light switch so we can see properly. I look around and I take in everything around me. Inside, it basically looks like a normal living room. There's a couch, a TV, some pictures on the wall, etc. Where are we? I asked after I examined the room for a few more minutes. This is the safe room. There are only 3 people who can open up the door to get here. Ryder, myself, and Chris. Brian explains while pacing around the room. He looks really worried about something, And I wonder if he knows who the mystery man is, too. It would make sense if he did, since he is Ryder's best friend. I look around the room and see that Ryder hasn't come down the stairs yet. Where's Ryder? He's probably talking to Chris. We might be here for a while, and someone needs to watch the pack and do some investigation. Do you know who that guy is? I ask, feeling slightly nervous. I think so, but it would probably be better if Ryder explained since I'm not 100% sure. We wait for a few moments before Ryder comes down the stairs. His hair is messy, and he looks like a confused puppy. He runs his hand through his hair a few times while pacing. He starts mumbling to himself, and as time goes on, he looks more and more distraught. I stand up and walk to him to try and comfort him. Ryder, are you okay? I'm standing in front of him with my hands on his shoulders, but he doesn't seem to notice. I grab his chin and turn his face towards me, but it looks like he's looking right through me. How is this even happening? How is what happening? Do you know who that person is? It's not possible. He can't still be alive. What do you mean? You're not making any sense. He chased after them. How is this possible? I saw his body. I know he's dead. The look on Ryder's face is of pure sadness, and it makes my heart clench painfully in my chest. What's going on? Who are you talking about? I take my hands off his shoulders and take a step back. He can't still be alive. I saw his dead body. His eyes look haunted as he keeps murmuring to himself. I look over at Brian and Emily, but they don't say anything. Brian looks like he's putting the pieces together, but Emily looks just as confused as I am. Ryder? I ask in a quieter voice. I saw him die. I saw it with my own eyes. He died right in front of me. I guess he didn't exactly die if he's still alive, though. Ryder shakes his head with a bitter chuckle and continues his pacing. Brian stands up and walks over to Ryder. Alpha, I think you need to explain things to your mate, he says while grabbing onto Ryder's shoulders. How is he still alive? Ryder mumbles with a look of disbelief on his face. I'm not sure, Ryder, but there are some things you need to explain. I just don't know how any of this is possible. Ryder says with a sigh. Ryder and Brian walk over to the side and start talking quietly. I want to know what they're saying, but I know that I'll find out soon enough. Do you know what's happening? Emily asks through the mind link. She is looking at me with a confused look on her face. I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't know what's happening. I have no clue, I say with a sigh. After a little longer, I start to get restless. I need to know what's going on. Brian and Ryder are still talking to each other quietly, but they stop all of a sudden and look at me. I raise my right eyebrow, waiting for either one of them to say something. Is someone going to tell me what's going on? I demand when no one says anything. I look at the two of them trying to get my answers from their facial expressions, but they don't give anything away except for Ryder. He looks like he's reliving some painful memories, and the look on his face makes my stomach turn. Suddenly, I'm not so sure I want to know. The man who is trying to kill you, he's... Ryder sucks in a deep breath before continuing. He's my uncle. My heart skips a beat before it starts beating extremely fast in my chest. What do you mean? I didn't know that you had an uncle. He's my dad's younger brother. I thought he died the same day that my mother died. Is that what you were mumbling about? Yes, I don't understand how he is still alive. Okay, go back to the beginning and tell me everything. I already told you about how rogues killed my mom and how my dad and uncle came too late. His voice cracks at the end, and I reach my hand out and hold on to his. He gives me a small smile before running a hand down his face. What happened after that? I questioned softly. My uncle had this strange look in his eyes. It was something that I had never seen before. My dad was glaring at me and yelling how it was my fault, but my uncle ran out of the house to find the rogues. After my dad realized that he was gone, he left to go find my uncle. I followed behind because I didn't want to be left alone. I rub his back softly, trying to comfort him. He looks so miserable, and I just want to take all the pain away. I watched as the rogues killed him. There were too many of them, and he was easily killed. My dad didn't even try to help my uncle. He stood back and watched as the rouges snapped my uncle's throat. My dad just said how stupid he was for trying to fight those rogues in the first place. Ryder lets out a bitter laugh, and I can see the resentment he has for his dad in his eyes. My uncle and I had been so close. He was always more of a father to me than my actual father. He was the one that would take me to the park so I could play like a normal kid. He was the one that would play with me if my mom was busy. My dad never cared about me. I think the only reason he put up with me is because my mom loved me so much, and my dad loved my mom. I watch as Ryder's face completely closes off until all that's left is a dark, blank look. All of us are quiet as we absorb the information Ryder gave to us. "Why do you think he's doing this then?" Emily asks, breaking the tense silence. "I don't know. He's so different from what he used to be like." "Do you think the rogues might have wiped his memory?" "Maybe they are the reason he's doing this," Emily suggests. "The rogues didn't take him, though. They killed him and then left." "Well, that's what I thought." "They might have injected something into him that slowed down his heartbeat enough so it would have seemed like he died. They also could have come back once you were gone," Brian adds with a thoughtful look on his face. "When I went back later on that day, his body was gone. When I asked my dad about it, he said that some pack members had already taken care of him. I just assumed." Ryder trails off, his eyes flashing dangerously. "Okay, so what are we going to do?" "We need to continue to follow him and get more information. As much as it kills me to say this, he's the enemy right now. We need to see what's going on and stop him before he hurts anyone." I have a gut feeling that Patrick's not as innocent as we want him to be. I didn't know him before he died, but apparently he was a pretty good person. I'm just getting the feeling that he might have been working with the rogues who killed Ryder's mom. They might have done something to him after they took him, but I doubt it. They wouldn't need him to carry out their dirty work, because that group of rogues is famous for being ruthless and enjoying killing people. They're not afraid of anything, but they're good at what they do. Maybe they just taught Patrick everything he knows. What if he's not innocent? What if he was working with the rogues that killed your mom? I blurt out before I can stop myself. All eyes turn to me, and I swallow nervously. "That's also possible," Ryder says with a nod. I was expecting him to be angry with me, but I'm shocked when I see the understanding in his eyes. "I'm not saying that he actually is bad. I'm just saying. I know exactly what you're saying, and I completely agree with you." "You do?" I say with a slight frown. "People change over time. I don't know exactly what was going on during that time since I was so young. Plus, I vaguely remember the fact that my mom seemed to know the rogues. Obviously, she didn't ask them to kill her, but she might have been involved with them before or even after I came along. My uncle could have been involved with them too. Obviously, I don't want to think like that, but I need to look at this with unbiased opinion. What if I'm wrong, though? That doesn't matter. He is still the enemy regardless of the fact that his memory could have been wiped." "What do you mean?" "He threatened to kill you, my mate. I don't care who he is. No one messes with my mate and gets away with it. He's not working by himself, though. He's working with Zach and who knows who else. Plus, he's your uncle. I won't let him hurt you, Elizabeth. That's not an option. Family or not, I will kill him if he tries to hurt you." A.N. So P, aka Patrick, is Ryder's uncle. How many of you saw that coming? Some of you thought that it was his dad, but nope, his uncle who he thought was dead. What do you guys think? Do you think Patrick is being brainwashed to kill Elizabeth? Or do you think he's trying to kill Elizabeth because of his own agenda? Ryder's POV. I wish my mind would shut up so I can get some sleep. Ever since I found out who P is, my mind has been going crazy. I can't believe that my uncle is still alive, and I don't want to believe that he's the one that's been threatening my mate. It's hard to deny the facts, though. I saw him with my own eyes, so I know that he's here. I should have known that it was him. I should have been more careful with who I let into the pack. I can't believe that he's been here all this time, and I've never noticed. I feel so stupid. At least I know now, so now I can protect my pack and mate a lot better. This is why my pack usually kills trespassers as soon as they see them. Then, we don't have to worry about having spies in our midst. I'm not sure how he even got onto my territory. The only way that he could have gotten here is with the group of rogue and vampires that came with Elizabeth's parents. I'm not sure if Elizabeth's parents are good or not, so I'm going to have to keep a close eye on them too. I've been so distracted that I haven't been paying attention to anything but this war with Zach and finding out who P is. Now that I know that it's my uncle, I can't help but feel like this is all my fault. I should have known that it was my uncle. He always used to sign his letters with -P because he's always hated his name. I've put everyone in my pack, especially my mate, in danger by allowing him to be here. Brian, Chris, we need to have a meeting, I say through the mind link. The tone of my voice lets them know that I'm serious and that this meeting needs to happen now. Where would you like to meet, Alpha? Brian asks. The usual place, I say, knowing that they'll understand. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm almost done with my patrol shift, Chris answers. See you guys soon. I cut the connection and sigh. I look over at my side and see my sleeping mate, and a small smile makes its way onto my lips. I watch as she breathes in and out calmly. She has a small smile on her face, and she cuddles into my side. I brush her hair out of her face and run my hand along her soft cheek. She lets out a cute sigh before laying her head on my chest. I'm glad that she's not afraid anymore. After I told her about my uncle, she was even more afraid than when we didn't know who P was. I hate that she's afraid, and there's nothing I can do about it. I kiss her cheek gently before slipping out of bed. I tuck her in under the covers and write her a short note telling her that I'm having a meeting, but to mind-link me if she needs me. Jake, I don't want Elizabeth to be completely alone, so I decided to mind-link her brother to see if he could watch her and protect her. Yes, Alpha Rider? I need to have a meeting with some people, and I need you to watch Elizabeth for me. Of course, Alpha. I'll be there soon. I head down to the front door and pace back and forth. It only takes a few moments before I hear a knock on the door. I open the door and let Jake inside and up to the room. Elizabeth and I are staying in. She just started sleeping, so she probably won't need anything for a while. If anything happens, mind-link me. Jake nods his head and glances towards Elizabeth's sleeping form. I'll be back as soon as I can, I say before slipping out of the room. I head down the hall and see Brian standing there. I figured I'd wait for you since we're going to the same place. I nod my head and we walk out of his house through the back entrance. Once we're outside, we shift into our wolf forms. We start running through the woods while making sure no one is following us. We jump over fallen trees and dodge tree branches. My wolf relaxes slightly at being able to finally go for a run. He's been so agitated lately, so it's nice that he's finally settled down a little bit. Does Jake know what's going on? Brian asks suddenly. I haven't told him anything yet. I want to talk to you and Chris to see what we can do before I tell anyone. I'm not sure who I can trust. Isn't he watching Elizabeth right now? I'm not trying to question your judgment, but if you don't trust him, why is he with my Luna? I trust Jake with Elizabeth since he obviously cares for her. I'm not worried about his loyalty to her. He's been protecting her since she was born, and for that, I'm grateful. I just don't know if he'll accidentally let something slip and alert you know who. Once I know enough about this situation, I'll let him know. We continue to run for a few minutes before we get to our destination. On the outside, it looks like an abandoned warehouse. No one has been here for years because there hasn't been a need for anyone to be here. This warehouse has only been used a handful of times, and I hate that it has to be used now. We shift back into human form and walk the rest of the way. Brian and I go up to the door and move aside the piece of wood that's blocking the door. I scan my eye on the eye scanner that's next to the door, and then Brian does the same. The door unlocks, and we step inside. The lights are already on, so Chris must be here. This is our secret headquarters. No one but the three of us know about this place. We made this place when I first became Alpha. I knew that there would be a lot of threats, and I wanted us to have a safe place other than the tree hideout where we can talk. The outside of the building might look bad, but the inside is a completely different story. Everything is very safe and secured. All the walls are soundproof, and we have the latest technology here. Any gadget or weapon you can think of, we have. I'm glad you guys made it. Chris says while standing up from one of the chairs at the table. He bows slightly before going over to one of the computers. We're in the main room that has most of our supplies in here. Have you set up all the cameras? I asked, but already knowing that he has. That's one thing that I like about Chris. You tell him to do something, and he'll do it immediately and to the best of his abilities. Yes, Alpha. Good. I gave you a brief run-through of what happened yesterday, and we need to make a plan. He nods his head before turning on the computer. I've put cameras in all the places that I could. I was reviewing the tapes, and so far nothing has happened. I haven't been able to spot your uncle at all. He hasn't gone outside, and he's even avoided the cameras I have inside the houses. I rub a hand down my face. My uncle has always been the sneaky one. He's always one step ahead. Patrick probably has some people on his team. Have you seen any strange behavior from anyone on the recordings? Brian asks while moving in closer. I haven't seen anything. All right, let's start brainstorming some ideas, I say before sitting at the head of the table. Chris turns off the computer screen and Brian goes to grab the recorder. We document most of the things we say so we can remember them for future situations. Unfortunately, none of the old recordings will help us. Okay, so what were you thinking about? Brian questions as he sits down. I feel a small pressure on the back of my head, which means someone's trying to mind-link me. I stop talking and frown in confusion. We were just about to start the meeting. I hope this is important. Alpha? What's wrong, Jake? His voice sounds frantic and worried. I immediately stand up and prepare myself for the worst. You need to come back now. What's happening? I look over at Brian and Chris and give them a nod. They immediately stand up and get ready to leave. I don't hear an answer for a little while, and I start feeling nervous. You need to come quickly. There's too many of them. Too many of who? What's going on? I growl. My patience is really running thin, and I can feel Kadon trying to claw his way out. Too many rogues. We are under attack. As soon as I hear those words, I start running. My only concern is Elizabeth. I need to be there to protect her. I rip the door off the hinges and continue to run. I know Chris and Brian will fix that later. I can faintly hear them after me, but I don't pay any attention to them. I push myself to run faster so I can get there on time. I will not let anything happen to my mate. Must protect mate at all costs. No one will harm my mate, Kadon growls in my head. I couldn't agree with him more. I can finally see the house, and I let out a sigh of relief until I actually look around the house. There are rogues everywhere, and even though my pack is fighting, I'm not sure it will be enough. The rogues are pouring out of the woods and heading towards the houses. I've never seen so many rogues together. Usually, the groups of rogues are small, ranging from about 25 to 50. I let out a low growl before I continue to Brian's house. I have to help my mate first. I see Brian and Chris get tackled to the ground, and I hesitate slightly. I could help them quickly and then go to Elizabeth. I turn to help Chris, but he shakes his head. Go find your mate. We'll be okay. I nod my head gratefully before rushing inside. I dodge a few rogues who try to tackle me before grabbing one of them. Who sent you? I'm not telling, he says with a grin. I grimace slightly at the sight of his rotten teeth before snapping his neck. I guess I'll have to find out later. All around me are fights between my pack members and the rogues. I see that my pack members are doing okay, and I'm instantly grateful for all the training my pack has done for surprise situations. Jake? Are you guys okay? Where are you? I'm holding them off as best as I can. I don't know how moo. I hear a scream and then a loud thud. Elizabeth. I sprint up the stairs hoping to get to her on time. I'm almost at the top when I feel a rogue jump on my back. A vicious growl forces its way out of my throat, and I try to throw the rogue off me. Another rogue jumps on top of me, and I can feel myself falling. We tumble all the way down the stairs, and I struggle to get them off of me. I don't need this distraction. Time is ticking. One of my pack warriors comes over and grabs one of the rogues off of me, leaving me with the other one. I easily throw the filthy rogue of me before breaking his neck. That's one less thing to worry about. I look around and see that more members of my pack are here and they are fighting the rogues. I will come back and help them as soon as I know that my mate is okay. I smell faint traces of blood, and I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. I have the feeling I'm too late. I shake those thoughts out of my head and continue to the room. As I get closer to the room, I realize that I can't hear anything except a faint heartbeat. There should be 2 heartbeats, one for Elizabeth and one for Jake. If Jake had anything to do with this attack, I swear I will kill him. He will suffer a slow and painful death. I quicken my pace and throw open the door. The room looks like a tornado swept through it, and then an earthquake happened. There was definitely a fight in here. There's blood everywhere, and I can see the bodies of a few rogues on the ground. I also see an unconscious Jake, but no sign of her. My heart squeezes painfully in my chest, and I'm finding it harder and harder to breathe. "Where's my mate?" Kadon growls. I look around the room and search everywhere, but I still don't see or smell her. I'm about to head back downstairs when I look at the bed and see a note there. "I've got my mate back, and there's nothing you can do about it. P.S. I thought your pack was supposed to be the best pack out there. I guess that's not true anymore, since I was able to get in here very easily. I guess you guys are losing your touch. It makes sense, though, since you've gone all soft since you found your mate. I don't appreciate the fact that you took her, by the way. I also don't appreciate the hideous mark on her neck. You'll pay for both of those things later on. Right now, I've got to have some fun with my mate." Alpha Zach. I feel my heart shatter and I fall to my knees. She's gone, and it's all my fault. I've failed her once again. Patrick POV. "Be careful with her body," Zach growls at one of my pack members. Yes, I have a small pack forming, and I'm proud of it. My pack members are loyal and a lot stronger than Zach. Any of them could fight Zach and easily kill him. I will not have him disrespecting them. I growl at Zach and he glares at me. I want to kill him, but instead, I take in a deep breath. I'll have time to kill him later. After we kidnapped the slut, we quickly left so we could get to a safe place. Zach has this cabin somewhere that he's been bragging about, but at this point, I'm not sure if he was telling the truth. We've been walking for hours. I'm starting to get restless because this is unknown territory. I know my men feel the same way. "I don't understand why you want her so much. She's a useless little whore," I say while rolling my eyes. "Hey, only I can say that about her," Zach says with a smirk. I look at him with disgust before I go back to observing my men. Some of them are carrying Elizabeth's unconscious body, and some of them are in their wolf forms ready to attack anyone who tries to stop us. I'm always amazed at their loyalty and their willingness to help me. "Where's this camp that you were bragging about?" I ask after a few minutes. "It's only a few minutes away." "Good. Is someone getting tired?" Zach says in a baby voice and with a smirk on his face. I'm about to reach over and strangle him when one of his pack members stops me. I quickly shrug them off and continue to walk. We walk in silence, and I take this time to look at my surroundings. All I see are trees. Nothing interesting out here. "It would be a great place to hide a dead body," my wolf states. I glance over at Zach and I feel a smirk forming on my lips. I can finally get rid of him. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. "Not yet. We still need him. Have patience for once in your life." I grumble slightly to my wolf, but I listen to him. It would be a major setback if I killed Zach right now. "We're here," Zach announces. I look around and see a shady-looking building. The looks on my pack members' faces show nothing but disgust, and I almost start to laugh. Zach looks so proud of this place, and I once again start to rethink my partnership with him. Maybe I could accomplish my goals without him. "Is this seriously the cabin you were talking about?" My eyebrows arch as I wait for his answer. He rolls his eyes and nods his head. "Of course it is. This is the perfect place. No one would ever expect us to be here." He answers like it's the most obvious thing in the world. I inwardly sigh while looking at the rundown house. I guess this will have to do. I nod at my men, and they reluctantly enter the cabin. I walk in after them, and my nose instantly scrunches up in distaste. This place is horrific. Zach walks in and takes a deep breath in. "Isn't this just fantastic?" he asks while looking around the place. I give him a flat look and turn away. I look around the small cabin with scrutinizing eyes. If I thought that outside was bad, this is way worse. When was the last time anyone was here? The place is covered with dust, and it smells revolting. The walls are moldy, and the floorboards creak with every step that's taken. I don't think I can work in these conditions. Are you sure there's no other place we can stay in? Zach gives me an irritated look before shaking his head. You should be grateful that we even have this place. We can either stay here, safe from Ryder and his pack, or we can go somewhere a little more comfortable and risk blowing our cover. He snaps at me. Well, you already blew our cover when you wrote that note to him. He wasn't supposed to know that you were involved with this. He was supposed to trace the blame back to the rogues you hired. I don't understand why you're so upset. You act as if I can't beat him. Both my eyebrows arch and I give him an incredulous look. You seriously think you could take him in a fight? He snorts and then smirks. I know, I can take him in a fight. Any day, any time. Some of my pack members chuckle quietly, and I have to bite my lip to stop myself from laughing. This guy is more insane than I thought. All right, anyways, what's the plan for the next few days? After the discussion with Zach, I quickly left so I could get some fresh air and think through my plan. My men are busying themselves with cleaning the shack and watching Elizabeth. Zach is in charge of getting us some food, but I'm not sure that's the best idea. He'll probably try to feed us poisonous fruits. Oh well, I have bigger things to worry about. Elizabeth should be awake soon, so I know I have to act quickly. I also know that Ryder should be searching for his mate soon, so I have a time limit. I hate having to do this to my nephew, but this is necessary. He'll get over it. He's a tough guy, so I'm not worried about it. I know he'll thank me later on. I'll find him a more suitable mate, and then he'll be happy.